it's not bad being queen, you know? What can I say?
How does a preacher's daughter rise from a strict religious life to become the queen of disco while fighting demons that nearly destroyed her? She recorded a song so provocative it was banned around the world. Then came a moment so dark it almost ended everything. But here's the truth of her journey. Every breakdown became the beginning of a breakthrough. Once you hear what she survived to become a legend, you'll never look at her story the same way again. Let's begin. Roots of a Voice. LaDonna Adrienne Gaines was born on December 31, 1948, in the Mission Hill neighborhood of Boston, Massachusetts. She was the third of 7 children in a hardworking, close-knit family that understood both responsibility and restraint. Her father, Andrew Gaines, earned his living as a butcher, while her mother, Mary Gaines, worked as a schoolteacher. Their income was steady but modest, enough to keep the household running, but never enough to feel excessive. The family lived together in a 3-bedroom apartment where space was shared, privacy was limited, and bonds were formed naturally. Children often shared rooms, learned patience early, and grew accustomed to each other's voices, moods, and dreams. That environment quietly shaped LaDonna's sense of collaboration and resilience long before she ever stepped onto a stage. The Gaines household was built on discipline, education, and faith. These values were not optional, they were expectations. Church attendance was mandatory, not just as a ritual, but as a way of life. Sundays were sacred, and music was woven deeply into those days. Hymns filled the air, choirs practiced regularly, and family gatherings often turned into informal musical sessions. Singing was not treated as a hobby, but as a shared expression of belief and emotion. In this atmosphere, LaDonna's love for music did not arrive suddenly. It grew steadily, nourished by routine and reinforced by encouragement. At just 10 years old, LaDonna experienced her first true moment in the spotlight, though it came unexpectedly. One Sunday at church, the regular singer failed to show up. The congregation waited uncertain until LaDonna was asked to step in. Nervous and unprepared for the weight of the moment, she stood before the crowd and sang, "I Am Changed." What followed surprised everyone, including LaDonna herself. Her voice filled the church with a power that seemed far beyond her age. Members of the congregation were moved to tears, and the atmosphere shifted instantly. That single performance changed her role within the church. From that day forward, she was no longer just another child in the pews. She became a regular soloist in the choir, trusted with leading songs that carried deep emotional meaning. By the time she was 12 years old, LaDonna's talent had begun to translate into opportunity. She was paid $5 per performance, an uncommon arrangement for someone so young. It was not just the money that mattered, but what it represented: recognition. Her voice carried strength, control, and soul, earning her the nickname the Little Mahalia, a reference to Mahalia Jackson, the legendary gospel singer she admired. That comparison was not made lightly, and it placed quiet expectations on her shoulders. Even then, people sensed that her voice was not ordinary. Dreams beyond Boston. As LaDonna grew older, her abilities continued to expand beyond the walls of the church. In high school, she attended Jeremiah E. Burke High School, where her talents found new outlets. She participated in school musicals such as The King and I and West Side Story. These productions introduced her to structured performance, choreography, and storytelling through music. On stage, she was no longer just singing. She was acting, interpreting, and embodying characters. Teachers and peers took notice, and she became a standout performer. Each role reinforced her belief that music and theater were not just passions, but possible paths forward. In 1967, just before graduating, LaDonna made a decision that would redefine her life. She chose to leave Boston and head to New York City to follow her dreams. It was a bold move, especially for a young woman leaving behind family, stability, and familiarity. Her parents were not thrilled. They worried about uncertainty, hardship, and distance. Still, they reluctantly supported her, understanding that her determination was not a passing phase. In New York, LaDonna joined a blues rock band called Crow. The experience was short-lived, but it was crucial. A record label expressed interest in the group, but ultimately wanted only LaDonna as a solo artist. The band eventually broke up, yet the moment served as an important stepping stone. It confirmed what others had seen for years. Her voice stood apart. A year later, in 1968, LaDonna's life took another unexpected turn. She was cast in the Munich production of Hair, a major opportunity that required her to move to Germany. She arrived with just $40 in her pocket, stepping into a new country with a different language and unfamiliar customs. The transition was challenging. Adjusting to daily life required patience and adaptability. Yet within 3 years, she became fluent in German and expanded her career further. She took on roles in musicals such as Godspell and Showboat, establishing herself as a reliable and versatile performer. Germany became more than a temporary stop. It became a place of growth. The song that changed everything. In 1974, everything changed during a recording session for Three Dog Night. Giorgio Moroder, a producer searching for singers without German accents, heard LaDonna's distinctive voice. He was immediately drawn to it. Pete Bellotte, his collaborator, felt the same way. They recognized something unique in her tone and delivery. Moroder promised to reach out if the right project came along. That meeting at Munich's Musicland studios would soon become historic. By the end of 1974, LaDonna, now known professionally as Donna Summer, signed a recording contract with Moroder and Bellotte. This marked the beginning of a collaboration that would dominate the disco era. Over the next few years, they created 7 revolutionary albums together. The iconic song "Love to Love You Baby" began with a simple idea. In 1974, Summer brought Moroder and Bellotte a hook she had written, inspired by the sensual French song "Je t'aime, moi non plus." The original recording was a short 3-minute single that failed to gain much attention. That changed when Neil Bogart, head of Casablanca Records, heard it at one of his legendary parties. Captivated by the track, he called Moroder at 3 a.m., demanding a longer version suitable for his dance floor. Summer hesitated. Turning the song into a 17-minute track felt overwhelming. She asked Moroder, "How am I supposed to come up with lyrics for another 14 minutes?" The extended version was recorded in May and June of 1975 at Musicland Studios. Moroder carefully shaped the atmosphere by dimming the lights and lighting candles. Summer lay on the floor in the darkened room, channeling a persona inspired by Marilyn Monroe to deliver a sultry, intimate performance. The session was kept intensely private, with most of the studio staff sent out, using minimal instrumentation: keyboards, percussion, guitar, bass, and drums. Moroder layered her vocals over a hypnotic bass line. The result was a sound that would influence electronic dance music for decades. For Summer, the recording process felt like acting. She later explained that she treated the song as a role rather than a reflection of herself. "It wasn't me," she said, "it was a character." That mental distance allowed her to navigate the provocative nature of the track. When she finally heard the finished version, she barely recognized her own voice, describing it as a concept, not a song. The impact was immediate. The track sold over 1 million copies and reached number 2 on the US Billboard Hot 100. The 16-minute version occupied the entire first side of her album, helping popularize the 12-inch single format. Casablanca Records struggled to meet demand, pressing 200,000 copies in the first week alone. Yet alongside success came a hypersexualized image that would follow her for years. When the song was released in 1975, it sparked global controversy. The BBC counted 23 simulated orgasms and banned it outright. Radio stations worldwide followed, and even the Vatican condemned it. Summer's grandmother reportedly said, "I'm never going to be able to go to church again." Behind the scenes, the pressure intensified. Her daughter, Brooklyn Pseudano, later revealed that Donna was fully aware of the stereotypes surrounding her and fought against being defined by them. Still, maintaining the glamorous and provocative image took a heavy toll. To cope, Donna began relying on antidepressants and sleeping pills, marking the beginning of a quiet internal struggle beneath the public spotlight. Success and consequences. Growing up inside a strict religious household, Donna Summer carried values that were deeply rooted in discipline, modesty, and faith. Those beliefs shaped her identity long before fame ever entered her life. Her father's strictness was not symbolic. It was enforced in everyday moments. One incident stayed with her for years. As a young woman, she once wore red nail polish. To her father, even that small expression crossed a line. He punished her, calling it inappropriate and unacceptable. That moment revealed the clear boundaries drawn inside her home, and those boundaries would later clash violently with the image the world would place upon her. As Donna's career soared, the distance between her upbringing and her public persona grew wider. The hypersexualized image that defined much of her success felt alien to her family. Pete Bellotte and Giorgio Moroder, the producers behind her biggest hits, were viewed almost as enemies by those closest to her. They were never introduced to her parents, not even at parties. To her family, these men symbolized the transformation they did not understand and could not accept. Donna found herself standing between two worlds that refused to meet. One grounded in faith and restraint, the other driven by spectacle and desire. That tension did not stay confined to professional relationships. It seeped into her personal life and began tearing it apart. Her marriage to Helmut Summer collapsed under the weight of her rising fame and constant pressure. At the same time, she became involved in a relationship with artist Peter Mühldorfer, a relationship that turned abusive. What began as emotional closeness descended into physical harm. He beat her, leaving her with visible injuries, including a black eye and broken ribs. Behind the glamorous image projected on stage and in magazines, Donna was living in fear and pain. The fallout from her image reached international stages as well. During live performances in Italy, her song "Love to Love You Baby" sparked chaos. The audience reaction became so intense that riots broke out, forcing her to stop performing the song entirely in that country. What once brought her success now threatened her safety. By 1976, the pressure had become unbearable. Her body began to reflect what her mind had been enduring. Donna developed severe stomach ulcers, making it difficult for her to eat. Even basic nourishment became painful. Looking back on that period, she described it as the most dismal days of her life. An astonishing statement, considering she was at the absolute peak of her career. That same year, Donna reached a breaking point. While staying in a New York hotel near Central Park, exhaustion consumed her. Her marriage had failed, her relationship was abusive, and her faith in the music industry had shattered. In that moment, everything felt empty. Standing alone in her hotel room, she approached the window with the intention of ending her life. She later described how she was ready to jump when her foot became tangled in a curtain. At that exact moment, a housekeeper entered the room. The interruption broke the spell. Reflecting on it later, Donna said, "Another 10 seconds and I would have been gone." That near-tragic moment occurred while she was still enduring abuse from Mühldorfer, whose violence had already left her physically injured. Survival did not feel triumphant. It felt accidental. In 1979, Donna experienced a profound spiritual awakening that reshaped her life. She returned to the faith of her childhood and embraced Christianity fully, describing herself as being gloriously born again. This was not a quiet change. It altered how she saw herself, her music, and her purpose. She began attending weekly Bible studies and made difficult choices that shocked the industry. Despite still being at the height of her career, she stepped away from some of her most famous songs, including "Love to Love You Baby" and "Bad Girls." For Donna, success no longer justified inner conflict. Her next album, The Wanderer, reflected this transformation. It was not a gospel album, but it carried spiritual intent. She wanted the music to be meaningful without preaching, reflective without denying her artistry. However, this shift did not protect her from controversy. Donna was accused of making comments suggesting that AIDS was God's punishment, and she was reported to have said, "It was Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve," during a concert. She later denied making these remarks, but the damage was done. The backlash from her gay fan base was intense and deeply emotional. Many felt betrayed by an artist who had once symbolized freedom and expression. Yet even amid controversy, Donna achieved something only one group before her had managed. Like the Beatles, she landed 3 consecutive double albums at #1 on the Billboard charts. It began in 1978 with Live and More, which featured her first #1 hit, MacArthur Park. Then came Bad Girls in 1979, an album that went triple platinum and produced iconic hits like Hot Stuff and the title track. She completed the streak later that same year with On the Radio. Greatest Hits Volumes 1 and 2. Double albums were considered risky, expensive to produce and hard to sell, but Donna made them a commercial force. Bad Girls alone sold over 4 million copies, becoming her biggest success. Behind the scenes, she worked relentlessly. Donna recorded and toured almost non-stop, often enduring 18-hour workdays. Her schedule left little room for rest, yet her presence never faltered on stage. She appeared unstoppable. In the span of just 12 months, she became the first female artist to score 4 #1 singles, 3 solo songs, and 1 duet with Barbra Streisand, No More Tears. Twice in the same year, she simultaneously held the #1 position on both the singles and album charts. By the end of her career, she had earned 6 American Music Awards, 11 gold albums, 4 #1 singles, and countless other honors. The title Queen of Disco was not a nickname, it was a conclusion. But Donna's legacy extended far beyond records and charts. She broke boundaries others had not crossed. In 1977, she collaborated again with Moroder and Bellotte to create I Feel Love. The song was revolutionary. No guitars, no traditional drums, only hypnotic beats and a fully synthesized backing track. When Brian Eno heard it, he famously turned to David Bowie and said, "This is the future of music." Donna recorded her vocals in just 10 minutes, unaware she was shaping the foundation of electronic dance music. The song would later inspire artists like Madonna, Beyoncé, and the Human League. Her influence reached cultural spaces as well. Donna became one of the first black female artists to receive heavy rotation on MTV. She won Grammy Awards across multiple genres: pop, R&B, rock, and dance, proving she could not be confined to one sound. In 1979, she became the first woman to win a Grammy for Best Rock Vocal Performance with Hot Stuff. Years later, she became the first recipient of the Grammy for Best Dance Recording with Carry On. Inducted into the Dance Music Hall of Fame and ranked among Billboard's greatest artists of all time, Donna Summer was not just a star, she was a revolution. Still, her personal life never matched her professional triumphs. In 1972, while performing in Hair in Munich, Donna met Austrian actor Helmut Sommer. Their romance was fast and intense, leading to marriage and the birth of their daughter, Mimi. The relationship ended in separation by 1976. From that brief union came something permanent: her stage name. She anglicized Summer into Summer, a name that would define her career forever. As her fame grew, she made a heartbreaking decision to leave Mimi with her grandparents so she could continue working. That choice haunted her. Success demanded sacrifice, and for Donna Summer, the cost was a guilt that never fully faded. Heartbreaking legacy. Donna's second marriage marked one of the most important turning points of her life, bringing a sense of stability she had long been searching for. On July 16, 1980, she married musician Bruce Sudano, a member of the group Brooklyn Dreams. This union was profoundly different from her first marriage. Where the earlier relationship had been fragile and short-lived, this one grew stronger with time. Together, Donna and Bruce built a family rooted in love, faith, and mutual respect. They welcomed two daughters, Brooklyn, born on January 5, 1981, and Amanda, born on August 11, 1982. This marriage lasted until Donna's death in 2012, standing as one of the most enduring anchors in her life. Bruce Sudano was more than a husband. He became Donna's creative partner and emotional support system. They worked together musically, co-writing songs that would become part of her legacy, including Bad Girls. Their relationship allowed Donna to experience collaboration without control and creativity without fear. Just as importantly, they shared a deep spiritual connection. Faith was no longer a source of inner conflict for Donna, but a shared foundation. Together, they founded the Oasis Church in Los Angeles, creating a space that reflected their beliefs and values. After years marked by turmoil, abuse, and emotional scars, Donna finally experienced peace. The chaos that once defined her private life slowly gave way to balance and healing. Balancing family life with superstardom remained one of Donna's greatest challenges. The demands of her career never truly slowed. Recording sessions, tours, and public appearances continued to fill her schedule. Yet she was determined to be present for her children in ways she had not always been able to before. In an unexpected but meaningful way, help came from her neighbor, the legendary actress Sophia Loren. Loren became a quiet mentor to Donna, offering guidance on how to navigate the complex, dual role of being both a global star and a devoted mother. Donna's children affectionately referred to her as Auntie Sophia, a reflection of the warmth and closeness that developed between the families. Loren's advice helped Donna find balance where she once felt only tension. Despite outward success and newfound stability, Donna continued to face deep personal struggles. One of the most devastating moments came when she learned that her eldest daughter, Mimi, had been abused by someone connected to their housekeeper. The revelation reopened wounds Donna had carried silently for years. At the age of 15, Donna herself had been abused by a pastor, an experience that deeply shaped her understanding of trust, faith, and vulnerability. Discovering that her daughter had suffered a similar trauma was unbearable. It reignited her pain, but also strengthened her resolve. From that point forward, Donna became fiercely protective of her children. Every decision she made was filtered through one priority: their safety. Even while maintaining a demanding career filled with long recording sessions and exhausting tours, she made shielding her family from harm her personal mission. While much of the world knew Donna Summer only as a singer, there was another side of her artistry that remained largely unseen. For more than 15 years, she devoted herself seriously to painting. This was not a casual pastime, but a disciplined and passionate pursuit. Her visual art mirrored the emotional intensity of her music. Drawing inspiration from European naive and expressionistic traditions, Donna used color as a powerful emotional language. Her paintings were dramatic, bold, and deeply personal. She held several exhibitions each year, and works such as Faces of Rio and Two Women with Guitarist received critical acclaim. Many of her paintings echoed themes from her songs, creating a rare intersection between sound and image. Through painting, Donna found another way to express what words and melodies could not fully contain. Donna Summer, known worldwide as the Queen of Disco, passed away on May 17, 2012, at the age of 63. Her death stunned fans and the music industry alike. She died at her home in Naples, Florida, from lung cancer. The diagnosis shocked many, as Donna was widely known to be a non-smoker. Donna herself believed the illness might have been linked to toxic fumes and dust she inhaled during the September 11 attacks. At the time of the tragedy, she had been in her apartment near Ground Zero. The aftermath left a lasting impression on her, emotionally and possibly physically. Others pointed to additional factors, including her past smoking, years of exposure to secondhand smoke in nightclubs and venues, and family history that may have increased her vulnerability. No single explanation could fully capture the complexity of her illness. Her funeral was held on May 23, 2012, at Christ Presbyterian Church in Nashville. It was a private and deeply emotional ceremony. Cameras were strictly prohibited, allowing her family and closest friends to grieve without intrusion. According to reports, several hundred people attended, a quiet testament to the respect and love she inspired. Following the service, Donna was laid to rest at Harpeth Hills Memory Gardens, a peaceful cemetery in Nashville. The farewell was intimate, dignified, and reflective of the woman she had become. When Donna Summer passed away, the world did not just lose a singer. It lost an artist who had defined an entire era. Tributes poured in from across the music world. Gloria Gaynor expressed her heartbreak, calling Donna a fine lady and human being. Liza Minnelli described her as a queen, the queen of disco, and we will be dancing to her music forever. Their words captured what so many felt. Donna's presence could not be replaced. Dolly Parton compared Donna to Whitney Houston, calling her one of the greatest voices ever. She spoke not only of Donna's talent, but of her warmth, describing her as likable, fun, and unforgettable. Janet Jackson praised her openly, writing that Donna changed the world of music with her beautiful voice and incredible talent. Barbra Streisand reflected on their collaboration and described Donna as amazingly talented. Quincy Jones offered a poetic tribute, calling her voice the heartbeat and soundtrack of a generation. Aretha Franklin summed up Donna's impact with clarity and respect, saying that in the 1970s, Donna reigned over the disco era and kept the dance floors alive. She reminded the world that songs like Last Dance would never be forgotten. Chaka Khan shared a more personal connection, revealing that she and Donna had been close friends for over 30 years and even spoke German together. Gloria Estefan called Donna's passing the end of an era, while Mary J. Blige wrote with raw emotion, calling her a true game-changer. Lenny Kravitz honored Donna as a pioneer who transcended race and genre, paving the way for generations to come. Beyoncé shared a heartfelt message, describing how Donna's music moved her both emotionally and physically. She praised Donna as far more than the queen of disco, calling her an honest and gifted singer with flawless vocal talent. Beyoncé spoke of her admiration and the honor she felt in sampling Donna's work, emphasizing that Donna touched multiple generations. Her message closed with love and sympathy for Donna's family. David Foster, who had known Donna personally for decades, spoke with deep emotion. He said that Donna changed the face of pop culture forever and that music would sound different had she never shared her talent. He described her as a super diva who never compromised her career or her family, living with dignity and grace. For him, she was not just a legend, but a loyal, loving friend. Even President Barack Obama paid tribute, acknowledging her unforgettable voice and recognizing the loss felt by both the music industry and her fans. His words reflected how far Donna's influence had reached, extending beyond entertainment into cultural history. At the 2012 Billboard Music Awards, Natasha Bedingfield honored Donna with a moving performance of Last Dance. Calling her a remarkable woman who brought light into the world, Natasha highlighted how Donna inspired countless women. As images of Donna filled the screen, the moment became a celebration rather than a goodbye. Fans across the world left flowers and memorabilia on her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. In the days following her death, her album sales surged by 3,277%. Just 1 week earlier, she had sold around 1,000 albums. That number jumped to 26,000 as listeners returned to her music, proving that Donna Summer's voice, spirit, and legacy would never fade. Donna Summer was more than a singer. She was a voice that changed music forever. Her songs made the world dance, and her legacy still lives in every beat. Legends never fade. They live on through their music. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories like this.